Good mornings with Loretta. And yes, I am super excited. And yes, I'm always super excited, but I have a different kind of topic today. One I've been immersed in, but not know a lot about a lot of years because my sons, they are anime fanatics. And so we have Leah President and LeAlec Murray. They are the host of Crunchyroll's The Effect of Anime. So we'll talk about that podcast. But I just want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so
Thank you
much for having us, Loretta. And Anime Day is coming up, so it is our Christmas. So we're so happy to talk to you today.
I love that you said it's your Christmas because it's actually April 15th, tax day, right?
Yeah,
I know, we're trying to take it over. We're trying to rebrand the tax day.
Please do.
Do your taxes,
please do.
watch your anime.
You have my support. You have my full support on that one for so many reasons. So I want to just jump in there because I don't think people realize how huge a footprint anime has, and not just when it comes to like cartoons, but it is everywhere. It's movies, is commercials, is everywhere. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to ask you, what inspired you to start the Crunchyroll Presents the Anime Effect podcast?
Yeah, well, like you said, so many people are being attracted to anime, and we like to say on the show that the nerds are finally winning, the geeks are winning, because I think I speak for both Lee and myself when I say, growing up, it wasn't the cool thing to read comic books. It wasn't the cool thing to watch anime. But more and more people are getting, involved with it. We're seeing its impact across pop culture. And so that's what we like to do on the Anime Effect is if you're just, we'll meet you where you're at. If you know nothing about anime and you want to see what everyone's talking about, we got you. If you're a lifelong fan, we got you, and we'll nerd out about different things. So yeah, there's definitely something for everyone out there with anime. And it's great to see more and more people appreciate it, as an art form, as a storytelling medium. Yeah, it's something that we love at Anime Effect.
Okay, so when you said that it's all about geeks and the nerd is finally, a cool thing to be, and I love this show called Leverage, and he always says the year of the geek, baby, year of the geek, and I think that is the best statement ever.
Hopefully every year from now on. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that is a thing now. If you are nerdy and geeky, it's like a badge of honor. It's the cool thing now. You're the cool kid now.
For sure.
So can you share a pivotal moment when you realized that the impact of anime, how big an impact it was having on pop culture? Do you remember that moment for you when you said, oh, wow, this is a thing? We knew it a long time ago, but now it's finally a thing.
I think it's been more so recently because we've been slowly seeing it creep into different mediums, right? Whether it be film or sports or music. But when you have, musical artists like Meg Thee Stallion, when you have, actor directors like Michael B. Jordan, when you have, directors like Jordan Peele, when you have them flying the flag in multiple different mediums and saying, hey, anime is just as important of a medium, so much so that we want to make sure that we're paying homage to it in the work that we do. When you're talking about sports, a lot of newer sports stars, like to have anime inspired gear, whether it's their sneakers, whether it's their tunnel gear, even, in the NFL, I've seen players that have anime inspired visors. So I think that's the big apex moment, is that now we're finally seeing celebrities, or we're seeing people in media that are comfortable with sharing how much of a fan they are, and being able to bring it into their space.
Okay, so for those who are not sure exactly what anime is, and I am only introduced to it because of my sons, right, when they were younger in the Pokemon phase and all that, which it wasn't a phase because I find out that those shows have evolved and they're still going on. So what are some of the common misconceptions people have about anime, and how do you address them on your podcast? How do you get us to say, yeah, that's a cool thing?
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception that I see is when people, don't really know too much about anime, and they don't realize that it is a medium for storytelling and not a genre. So there is going to be something for everybody in anime, whether you like comedy, romance. You mentioned like Leverage, so like thrillers, true crime. There is something for everyone in anime. So, some people can get, caught up on tropes or have like a general understanding of what they think anime is. But really, you can think of it just like any other storytelling medium, like movies, like TV. It breaks across all genres, and it is a way to tell stories in a unique way.
I like that, because I was wondering how I could ask what's the difference between anime and cartoons, but you just said it. Cartoons is its own thing. They don't infuse it with movies and music and art. It's either that or it's not. But with anime, like you said, it is definitely something that you could easily infuse into other genres, other things like movies and television shows. And I am so in love with it. And so how do you get into anime as an artist? Do you have any tips for that?
Just as an artist, like if you're wanting to actually like, draw or be in the medium,
Yeah.
honestly, the best advice I can give anybody is definitely watch your anime on Crunchyroll for sure. Because you want to make sure that you're keeping with the trend. Also just keep practicing, find places that are going to help you grow and evolve your skill. But more importantly, it's you have to watch them and keep track of the medium,
Yeah,
because anime, like any other medium, is going to change and evolve over time.
for sure. And Loretta, you mentioned your kids are into anime. That's something crazy, because nowadays technology is so accessible to kids, right? So if people are watching their favorite show and saying, "Oh my gosh, I have this great idea," that technology to create those things is more accessible now than it ever has been before. So I think, there's a lot of opportunities for people to, flex that creative gene and make a story, because it is like every other, storytelling medium. You can really express yourself and show a new perspective and a unique perspective. So, yeah.
I love those answers. So I want to talk about Crunchyroll Presents, the anime effect. Tell me, how did that evolve into a podcast that people can see and hear all over the world? And you all are doing amazing work. It's 60 minutes weekly. So can you just tell me about that podcast?
First, shout out to Nick, who is our other co-host. This was his brainchild, and said, "Hey, I need two other people to do this with me." So that's when he brought in Leah and I, and it's been so much fun because it's something that we work with daily already. But we're really getting to express our passion for anime, or the genres around anime, to be able to invite you guys in, and sit down on the couch with us, and make recommendations, answer questions, and just make it somewhere that is just a great space for fans to interact. And it's I mean, I already said it, but it's been absolutely great. I couldn't I couldn't imagine having two better co-hosts, for sure.
Leah, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, so I like to think of the anime effect as a place where we will meet you wherever you're at, whether you are brand new to anime and you just want to see what everything's about, or if you're a lifelong fan and want to chat with us and get in depth. We've got that for you. And LeAlec mentioned this, but we do have a recommendations segment of the show where we will find something for you based on what you're already liking in pop culture. We like to think of ourselves as, just friends chilling on the couch. There's no dumb questions. And we want to make anime something that isn't, intimidating to jump into, something that, anybody can interact with, because there's something for everybody in anime. And, on Crunchyroll, especially, no matter what genre you're into, we've got it there at a click of a button. So it's really easy to see what this world is about.
Okay, I have so many questions to ask you, but I know our time is super important. But let's talk about April 15th. What can we expect before you go? That's my last question. Also, how can people find you and find the podcast? But how did you even get a day for anime on April 15th? And what can we look forward to? How are we celebrating?
It's like you said, we're already trying to take over tax day. But we're so first, Crunchyroll presents the Anime Effect. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, but then also you can find the video version on our Crunchyroll YouTube channel, or on Crunchyroll itself. And celebrating, I mean, we're gonna do what we always do. We're just gonna binge watch some anime.
Oh yeah, I've got my list ready.
Yeah, I've got tons of stuff queued up already. So there you go.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing and enlightening us and really educating us on a popular way to tell stories. And that is, don't sleep on anime. Listen to this podcast because you'll learn so much. You'll hear other people how this really is a thing. It is a thing on its own. It doesn't need anything else to go with it because it is truly taken over. So I just want to thank you, Leah and LeAlec, for being my guest. And hopefully you'll come back so we can talk more about anime.
For sure. Thank you so much for having us, Loretta.
All right, go ahead. Having a fantastic weekend and happy Anime Day coming up. Thank you.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye. So they have to go, but let me tell you, if you're intimidated by the word anime or you don't really know what it means or you think it's just all about cartoons, well, let me tell you, come into the 21st century because it is so much more than that. It's so much more than just for kids, right? It's for adults. It's a medium to tell your stories. And I'm going to have them back on so they can really break it down for us some more. But thank you all so much for watching. Happy Friday. Happy get into the weekend and make this day great. I know life is lifing, is happening, but find a star. Find something that points you in the direction of goodness and joy and peace. Above all things, peace, right? So in closing, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way. And guess what? I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.